The car collections of the rich and famous often feature a variety of different car brands, and that's exactly the case with Vin Diesel's car collection. Indeed, he owns a few cars that were showcased in the Fast and Furious movies, including one of the most expensive cars in the series. So in this video, we are going to discuss the cars of Fast and the Furious legend Vin Diesel. But before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Grand Sport. A beautiful car that would turn necks and heads wherever it goes, the 1963 Chevy Corvette Stingray Grand Sport is one of the most beautiful cars in Vin Diesel's collection. This one is believed to be one of just 100 ever made, and the car goes for around $100,000 in auctions. The car was also featured in Fast 5 as Dom and Brian made a heroic escape off a running train. Running on a 5.4-liter V8 engine, the Stingray churns out 300 horsepower, topping out at 142 miles per hour. 1993 Mazda RX-7. That Vin Diesel owns a 1993 Mazda RX-7 is as interesting as it is also unsurprising. Dominic Toretto rolls in a Mazda in the first movie, which is one of the few times in the series we see him driving a car that isn't American muscle. Diesel must have thoroughly enjoyed his time on set with the car, and after all, it was also Motortrend's 1993 Import Car of the Year. With the sort of performance, handling, and looks that the Mazda RX-7 boasts, it isn't all that of a shock that Diesel spent over $40,000 on this Japanese sports car. While the Dom we know today might disagree with the choice, it is clear that Vin Diesel's range and taste in cars is a lot more expansive. 1966 Pontiac Bonneville. Now this pure American pedigree car adoring Vin Diesel's garage is very much on character for him. GM built the Bonneville from 1958 to 2005, and it remained a phenomenal car for most of that time. This 1966 Pontiac Bonneville is also one of the longest Pontiacs to ever come off the assembly line, measuring in at a whopping 19 feet long. Furthermore, it is also as heavy as it is long, weighing in at around 2 tons. Undeniably an American classic, this 1966 model that Vin Diesel owns houses a 421 CI V engine underneath the hood and looks amazing wherever it goes. 1973 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 F-Bomb. You must find this car familiar. Yes, you've seen Dominic Toretto drive this beast in the F&F franchise. Did you know it was Vin's car, only that was used during the shoots? The Chevrolet Camaro Z28 F-Bomb also forms a part of the Vin Diesel cars, and as we told you, you would see many muscle cars in his collection. Therefore, the F-Bomb, which gets its name from the F-body platform, is also there in the collection. Along with an 8-arm front suspension and leaf springs that control the solid rear axle, this car is about a 5.7-liter V8 which churns out 245 horsepower. 1994 Toyota Supra Turbo. Another GDM gem in Vin Diesel's collection, the 1994 Toyota Supra is one car that is truly iconic. Lest we forget, the first Fast and Furious movie actually had a positive effect on the sales of this Japanese import. Sure, Dom would be strictly against imports, but Diesel has no such qualms, and the MK4 Supra is one of the most revered cars for gearheads all over the world. The Supra Turbo can go from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds, and it tops out at 160 miles per hour. The fact that Vin Diesel brought this car home most certainly has to do with how much of a hero car it was in the first movie that kicked off the worldwide phenomenon that is today the Fast and Furious franchise, with 9 movies out and more in the works. 1970 Dodge Charger Tantrum. This is a muscle car that is phenomenally beautiful and takes you with its aesthetics. The 1970 Dodge Charger Tantrum has a redesigned, all-new front-end bodywork that was made in carbon fiber. The all-gloss black paint turns heads wherever it goes, and this beautiful muscle car icon, too, was a gift for Vin Diesel. was the Fast and Furious crew who gifted this 1970 Dodge Charger Tantrum to Vin Diesel for his 52nd birthday, and it's a great, amazingly apt gift. After all, how couldn't the man who embodies Dominic Toretto not love a muscle car that churns out a staggering 1650 horses? With its 9.0-liter V8 boat engine, this Tantrum is well worth over $700,000. If only Santa was as forthcoming with his gifts as the movie crew. 2010 BMW E60 M5. It isn't just American muscle and JDM imports that Vin Diesel houses in his garage, but he also gets his fancies from German engineering, and his 2010 BMW E60 M5 is a prime example of the same. The Germans were working with everything they had when they built this four-door Satan, and it clearly shows. One of the first passenger cars that came with a V10 engine, the car churns out 500 horsepower, with 383 pound-feet of torque, which is almost a perfect blend of Dom and Vin Diesel themselves. The car remains classy and luxurious, befitting of a Hollywood A-lister, while having enough power under the hood that would make Toretto proud. 1974 Plymouth Barracuda, another blast from the past. The 1974 Plymouth Barracuda resides inside Vin Diesel's garage. The Barracuda existed in the market for 10 years and was on sale from 1964 to 1974. Vin has got last year's model. This was the third-generation model and was built in Chrysler E-body, which made it similar to the Dodge Challenger. The car has a 5.9-liter four-barrel carburetor engine, which is capable of generating 245 horsepower. This car is an absolute delight for every auto enthusiast, and hence they rejoice to watch Vin drive this every time he takes it out for a drive. 2014 Lykan Hypersport. The Lykan Hypersport has been one of the most iconic hero cars in the Fast and Furious franchise, and it is also one of the very exclusive cars ever made. Only 7 of these were ever made, and one of them calls Vin Diesel's garage its home. Valued at $3.4 million, the Lykan Hypersport was featured in Furious 7 and became the talk of the town when it featured front and center in the ridiculous stunt scene of being driven through 3 skyscrapers. The car has a ludicrous top speed of 245 miles per hour, powered by a 3.7-liter twin-turbo flat-six with 708 horsepower. Clearly, Vin Diesel had the money to get himself one, which is exactly what he did. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The limited edition 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona has plenty of history to it, as it came to right the wrongs of the poorly performing 1968 Dodge Charger 500 at NASCAR. The 1969 Daytona conquered the Talladega 500 race and is one of the most recognizable American cars ever made. Vin Diesel shelled out roughly $90,000 to bring a resto-modded replica one home. And this too is one of his more exclusive cars. With an available 426 CI Hemi V8 engine that made 425 horsepower, muscle car collectors hold the real Daytona in reverence, and clearly, so does Vin Diesel. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.